Hello, this is the final demo from Team Seagulls with Shailesh Bhate and Amit Kulkarni as the contributors to the team. Uh, I'll quickly go through the problem statement that we identified, the solution that we identified, and how we solved it. So the problem statement is government or bank officials have to sign a ton of papers which all basically have the same information, so they don't really need to look at it, but there's a peon or somebody who is constantly like flipping pages for them, and at the same time this is all manual work and there's no digitization involved, at least in an automatic sense. So what we came up with, the idea was to have a automatic page flipper based on sensing when the signature is done, and take a camera photograph of that page, digitize it immediately, and then flip to the next page. uh, what we have uh, done here to solve this problem is, this is a motion sensor, a PR motion sensor. It detects whether the hand is still there on the paper and whether it's still at work. After it stops detecting motion, it waits for a few seconds of delay to ensure that it's not a blip, and then it triggers the Arduino over here. The Arduino wakes up on the interrupt that it receives from the motion sensor, and then triggers the Raspberry Pi, which I have hoisted along with the camera over here. The Raspberry Pi is going to take the picture of what was just signed, and I'll come to OpenCV part of it in just a bit. That was the part which we struggled a little and is not working yet. But once it's done with the picture, it will send a signal back to the Arduino, which will then trigger a set of 3 servo motors to flip the page. The first motor is the lock motor, which is this one. This motor will basically lock the flipping motion, the motors onto place onto the paper and not let the paper move. Then this is the page extractor, is what we call it. So it will basically take the page and uh, from the book, and then this is the actual flipper which will just move and turn the page, and then all the servos will get back into their original places, and that's how it's all supposed to work, and then it will go back to uh, the sleeping state till the motion detector senses something else. So I have over here uh, the Raspberry Pi program running, which is basically the Arduino. It is waiting for a signal from the Arduino. So let's take a look. So here is the signing arm, and I've done signing now. So I'll just pick up my arm, and it should trigger the Raspberry after the Arduino waits. There you go. And here, if you see, it actually triggered the uh, Raspberry Pi. Now the Raspberry Pi also took the image of what I just signed. Here it is. So I'm going to get the files and show what we did. Just a second here. Here you go. So that is where it is taking the picture of the signature. And if you notice, this is not yet moving, so it is waiting for me to sign the next page, and once it's done, uh, it will realize that I'm done and should trigger once again. One more. So this page extractor, what we are using to extract the page is basically uh, and a simple eraser, a pencil eraser. It gives the roughness required to extract that page. And most of these materials are either acrylic, which is slightly easier to work with, or simple cardboard boxes, which have salvaged from some of the things I've received from Amazon. That's all. Thank you so much for patiently listening to us.